Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday. This is Kenny Cams, and welcome to the Black Show. So y'all like how I did that intro? I'm basically gonna use that every Monday now. What's going on, y'all? It's Kenny Cams here. This is the Black Show. Like, comment, and subscribe for me, man. The subscriber count is going up. I'm like, oh crap, we getting close to for real being monetized. That's super dope. So I appreciate all the new listeners, new watchers, all that. I make music too. You can go check that out. I'm a music producer as well too. But today's topic for the Black Show, and excuse me, my allergies, like the weather in Milwaukee is wild right now. It's like 7 in the morning, and it's 80 degrees outside here. That never happens here. So it's just destroying my allergies. I'm going home after this. But today's topic it's kind of layered, but have people gotten worse since COVID? And when I mean worse, I mean worse in so many different ways. So on the drive into the studio, I was like debating on how deep I would go into this topic, but I was like, you know what? Let's go fully into it. So I feel like the people that got the vaccine are dumber than they were before. Sorry to say it. Like the people that I know, you don't know everybody that got it. And you don't know everybody that said they did and didn't, because that's their personal business, so you shouldn't know. But a lot of the people that proclaim to have done that, I don't know if it's me subconsciously they're dumber because they did that, but they seem to be making a lot of bad decisions. And let me explain. And just being not great people. I think it could be a couple different reasons. Like, let's put this all on the table for COVID. This is what I was debating on in the car. If I wanted to really put this all on the table, because the YouTube channel is growing, this might get it demonetized and kind of shadow banned. But I gotta be myself on this. So if we really look at what happened from 2000 to now, 2020, my bad, till now, it's kind of clear that the whole world got scammed, right? Like the whole world. And a lot of people died that didn't have to die at all. For whatever was released, which we now know, because I go back in this COVID timeline, and initially when everyone was saying it was from like a bat and somebody at a wet market, and I'm literally like, no, that doesn't make any sense at all. And from when I first heard that, so I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. And then they told us it was the virology lab that they work on viruses to gain a function. Oh, is in that same town. And then they said that, also in that same town, a couple months earlier, they had the military Olympics. So the military does have an Olympics where they bring the best athletes. So you could be in the Marines and be a boxer. You could do that. That was kind of one of the recruiting tools a lot of that they did when we was in high school. That we could still play football, you know what I mean? That came to Wuhan. And then so you think about it, that means that those people that come from the military thing, they go back to base. And then the people from base go on leave and they go all around the world. And that's just not for us. That's for every military. You know what I mean? So it's clearly a bioweapon. I don't know who did it. It doesn't even have to be a nation state that did it. It could be a corporation that did it. It could be anybody. It could be any number of suspects. I got some suspicions just following the money, and I won't get into that because that will get banned on here. But clearly from that point, it spread to all the different countries. But it was a group of doctors in Houston, Texas. I can't remember her name right now. I had a video saved. I can look at her name. Because it was a group of doctors in Houston, Texas. Dr. Stella Emanuel. Look her up. Dr. Stella Emanuel. She was educated in South African. She's a South African doctor that works in the United States. Look her up. She said this was like week 2 or 3 into COVID, because in reality, I got COVID in like 2019, and I didn't know it was COVID, but I was in the hospital for like 5 days. It is funny. The only 2 people that know I don't even speak to anymore. I'm guessing they speak to each other. No, but like Stella, look up what she was. She gave the entire treatment of how to treat. She treated 350 patients. None of them died. All ages, all different type of morbidities, and like all of that stuff. So like, it was clearly a scam, and the media played along, and the higher education, pretty much the important people played along. Excuse me, pretty much the important people, and it was clearly a scam. And all of the educated people bought into it because they didn't want to be looked at as dumb by their in-group. I remember it's a person I grew up with, right? Known this person literally almost my whole life. So this person is in higher education and has been, I guess, most of his professional life. But when we're talking about COVID on there, and I'm like, no, anybody that's calling themselves an expert is not an expert in their field. Because if you're walking around calling yourself an expert, that means your ego. That's all your ego talking. Like, if true knowledge is the knowledge that we don't know anything, and we probably won't ever know much in comparison of what it is to know, what there is to know. So like anyone that's walking around saying I'm an expert, you may be able to, the most I'll take is I'm highly educated in this topic area. Because people were listening to doctors that knew nothing about virology. Like Jimmy Dore during that time, that's when I became a big Jimmy Dore fan. It was initially in the Russiagate stuff with Trump. But then during COVID, because it took Jimmy a while, but once he saw it, he was like, oh, because Jimmy took the vaccine. I did not. Jimmy was like, oh, I got scammed. And he saw, and he brought on Dr. Robert Malone. He brought on a guy that has the patent for creating the mRNA technology. I can't remember his name. It's Peter something. Peter McCullough, I think his name is. But so I was listening to the people that like were actually working and studied in this field, not TV doctors. Like that's the part where I'm like, are y'all not intelligent? Do y'all not have critical thinking skills? Like, you listening to, and it's on both sides. This is not a Democrat or a right-left thing. This is all y'all listening to these people. And the thing that I had to realize is that I had to separate it because working, especially in the editing side, I have to interact with some of these people. And I see the behind-the-scenes takes that, like I'm cutting out what they're filming. So on camera, you see what the finished product, but I get to see like I'm like, these people are fucking idiots. I lost all respect for news reporters. Like, that's why I'm like, dude, and it was so funny during that time because people would shame me about like, are you getting news from YouTube? I'm like, Mark Fugel is the best news person on the news. Like, I haven't seen a better one. So why wouldn't I go to, and Mark Fugel is the one that doesn't put emotion in the news. He just reports what's happening and what he thinks. It's no agenda behind it. And I see so many people I'm like, are y'all dumb or y'all insecure? Because it could be one or two, but it can't be neither. Like, and this is both sides. Like, it's so frustrating to see people like listen to people like Tucker Carlson and like even Candace Owens. I'm like, get off of this Jew stuff. I know it's important, but it's clearly coming off as you being anti-Semitic. And I was like protecting you. You're giving people ammo. I'm like, oh, are these people just controversy merchants? Is that what they do? Like, it's so disheartening being around people. that, excuse me, y'all, I told you I'm dealing with this shit, but just being around people that have intentions, like just say what you want. Why do you have? You don't have to do all that other shit. And what that is people trying to take other people's choice away. That's why the only reason to hide your intentions is because you don't want the other person to work with the full information. So you can dictate what happens. It's a control thing. It's so narcissistic and weird, man. Like, and I see so many people in the world like that today. And during COVID, all those people you saw on TV were that. Like, this Kamala Harris thing is blowing my mind that it's happening right after COVID happened. And the same people are falling for it again. 3 months ago, Kamala Harris was a joke. And now she's supposed to be the savior of the fucking world? That's how I was like, either y'all really don't watch the news, or not even watch the news, either y'all really not informed at all. And like, that's irresponsible, especially if you got kids in the family. Like, I don't even have kids in family. It is me. My mom and them in a different country. My sister and them got dudes with family. Like, you know what I mean? So, and I'm informed on it. Like, any adult with kids should be like, okay, submarines off the coast of Florida. Like, what's going on right now? And I see people watching like I don't know what that Kim Kardashian thing was. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but dyslexic, stutter and shit. But I was like, oh, I'm on a different algorithm because I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. I have no clue what y'all talking about with this Kim Kardashian shit. But I'm like, people really entertaining that right now? Like, it was a video, right, of Ukraine that I saw. And it was from like probably like a year, maybe like this summer or like the spring. And it was showing the stark reality of the lives that poor and rich Ukrainians are living right now. Poor Ukrainians are dying on the front line. Rich Ukrainians are partying in Kiev. Like, the world, that's why I'm like, are people just, either people are dumb or people have always been shitty, terrible people, and now they feel more able to be their shitty self. Because when I say, like, in my close personal life, it went two ways in this last couple years. Either me and this person, and this is multiple people. This is multiple people in my life. Either we got extremely close to where we can have, like, I don't have surface level conversations. And if you're trying to have a surface level conversation with me, I'm gonna probably walk away. Like, oh yeah, in passing, like, hey, how's it going? But I'm not gonna sit with somebody I know is going through something or having, I'm not gonna sit with I can feel energy. When I try to tell people, they're like, oh no, I can feel energy. So I'm not gonna sit in a room, I know somebody's suffering, and be like, hey, how about the Bucks? Like, no, we have a conversation first. At least, like, you good, bro? And then we can talk about the Bucks. But that, you good, fam? It's always gonna be first for me. That's just how I operate. And people try to make me feel bad for that for a lot of my life. What I realize is people don't, like I said in my last episode, people don't care. And I think it comes off as I'm like bitter about that. No, y'all, I just lived in a fairy tale my life where I was like, oh, everybody is going to do the right thing and everybody cares and everybody's going to help each other out, because that's how I was living my life. So I thought everybody else was. And then I interacted with some people that I shouldn't even have been around, low key. I shouldn't have been introduced to these people. And I realized I remember one conversation was like, no, people do what they want to do. And I was like, what? I was so like, you're wrong on that. And that person was 100% right. And I was like, oh, it's a mindset. So what I do now is I get around people that take me at 100%, where I don't have to like mask it all. I can be myself. And if I'm not the person for you to be around, I don't take offense to it. I was like, I'm a lot at times. Not emotionally a lot, but like I like to do a lot of stuff. So like if you don't like to do a lot of stuff and you don't have a lot of ambition and you don't have a lot of like energy to, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that, you can't really be around me, because then I'm gonna get annoying to you and I'm gonna look like a drag, and then it's gonna be a resentment thing. I dealt with this in so many relationships, or like females and I'm gonna go into dating with this. I did have that down. Let me check my little checklist that I have for today's show on my phone real quick. Yeah, so in dating, I realized that like I never was my actual true self. Why? Because like dealing with women now, and I don't know if it was specifically Milwaukee or specifically my dating choices, right? I came at it from a point of like every time I date is like, oh, I'm not dating just to like fuck somebody over. If that makes, I'm a real big person on time, so my time matters. I'm not gonna waste my time talking to you if I'm not trying to for real talk to you. Have I just like went to the bar and like got girls or like, you know what I mean, or even online? Yeah, of course, everybody has done it, of course. But if I'm talking to you, I'm not gonna be like on the fence about it, because why would I waste my time? And what I realize is like, especially in dating, everybody's just doing what they want to do, irregardless of other people's feelings or emotions, because they could always find somebody new because of the internet and because of Instagram. So if people that know me, I'm not a real big person to like shoot shots. Like I'm like a sniper more so than like having like a switch. Like, so if I see a girl I like and I do it one at a time, if the girl's like not with it, then I'm like, okay, no, I'm not with it. And I've had to adjust to this like modern world of talking on the internet and like DMs and stuff, and I hate that. And the reason why I hate that is because I didn't realize how OC. I don't talk. I'm not an OC cat like that, but I realized how women can manipulate stuff to look other ways. And now, especially gaining notoriety, I'm like, dog, I got to be careful with that shit. So, and Milwaukee's such a small town, so you never know whose baby mamas, whose baby dad. You don't know who's who, because a lot of these women don't say. So you will get yourself in a situation like, oh shit, and this you can't really move around it because this city's small. You know what I mean? So I keep to myself on that. But I shoot selective shots. And the disappointing part, that this is why I'm like, oh, my judgment of women still ain't that great. The last couple shots I shot in dating wise, and I don't know if it's me, which is a possibility, or it's just a traumatic scene of dating in our age. Like, so I'm sitting talking to this, we texting, met this girl actually around here, we just sitting talking, right? And then we text him, and I was like, "Oh, let's go get drinks and dinner. Like, let's what you got going on?" And she was like, "Well, this was Friday." She's like, "Well, I'll be free on Thursday." I was like, "Oh yeah, this ain't gonna work." And I think her response was like, "Wait, what do you mean?" I was like, "If I gotta wait till Thursday to see you, if I gotta plan a week ahead to see you, and we try to like talk, that ain't gonna work." I'm like, you're beautiful, all that, but we're just our schedules. You're just too busy for me for what I'm looking for. And what I found out is women get so upset by that, and I'm like, why are you upset that I'm just telling you like this is just not gonna work out because I'm not gonna be happy with the amount I'm gonna see you. And what I realize is, or what I think about this is, what my hypothesis on this is that women that do that. Because she was a good-looking girl, so I know it's a bunch of different dudes talking to her. She got multiple dates this week, so the only free open date she got is Thursday. And I'm like, women really operate that way. That's why I like, bro, I'd rather sit in the studio and work all fucking day. And at some point, I got to stop that. But I'm like, women really operate like that. That is so women, and it ain't, I usually be on black women. It's not even just black women. It's like current modern women is the best. What's the podcast say? Modern women. I'm like, you little hussies think this is acceptable behavior. Like, and this is the reason why all of these women are crazy. So I have another hypothesis about this. Women with a lot of mental issues that got to go to therapists and do all that stuff. The common correlation I've seen is they are entertaining and sleeping with a bunch of men. They got a bunch of different energies in them and around them. so their brain cannot operate right. It go the same for men. If you a dude and you sleeping with like 3-4 girls, ain't no way you gonna be able to functionally like do anything else in life. You got way too many energies. You got way too much stuff to entertain. Like that's why so when people think it's like the non-cheating thing, for me, cheating is talking to two people, unless everybody know what's going on. Because I don't like lying. Lying is a fear thing for me. But cheating is just a hassle, fam. It seems like a hassle. Having to like hide something and lie whenever you at home and be on guard and like I had an ex checking my phone and I wasn't, and I was like, fam, you telling me I can't even leave my phone to go take the dog out for a walk? I can't leave my phone by the bed without this girl looking through my shit? And I wasn't doing nothing. So imagine if I felt that anxiety of somebody not doing nothing to feel that anxiety. Imagine really doing something and feeling that anxiety all the time that your life could just fall apart. It's not worth it. So I'll be looking at cheating that way. Like, bro, y'all really wagering all that shit? And people talk about like playing slots, and I like playing slots. I like gambling. So some Vegas and stuff is not really good for me. That's why I said don't know what's better. But like, y'all gambling with y'all fucking livelihoods and y'all lives to smash somebody? That's crazy to me. And this is not even me projected. That's just the logical odds of that just doesn't make sense to me. That's why I'm like, oh, them niggas is silly. Motherfuckers is silly. It's silly. And it don't make sense. And I think so I'm 35, right? I feel like a weirdo if I date or talk to anybody under 25. Even 25, I'm like, damn, I'm old. But 25-year-old should be in her career, like kind of got life going. Anything younger than 25, I'm like, dude, I feel like I would be taking advantage. Even though I really wouldn't, but I feel like I would be taking advantage. So I'm like, no, 25 is, because like, I can't operate, and people gonna hate this, but like I could never date seriously, and I only date seriously, so I could never. I would kind of cut off talking to women with kids, and it's nothing against y'all. It's y'all baby daddies. Like, any issues that I potentially see, I avoid. That's a major potential issue. How I move. Cause like I don't allow people around me to be disrespected. So I'm not the person to date somebody that or get a relationship with somebody that has kids. I'm not. I've experienced that once before, and I was sent off like a fucking Ukrainian soldier. I was sent off like a poor Ukrainian soldier, fam. So my question is, right? Have people always been dumb in mass and I just wasn't aware? Or did that shot really do something to people? I'm leaning towards that shot did something to people. And it may not have, this is conspiracy time, but I think that shot stopped the growth of people mentally. I think it captured IQ, it capped comprehension skills. I know they got technology that could do stuff like that, but the way people are being just easily manipulated, and I'm not even just talking about the news. I be seeing even in real life, like, oh, you gonna go for that? Okay, like people have been groomed into being completely fine with being gaslit. That sucks. What else I got on this thing down here? Oh, from like a spiritual perspective, it is too. The other kind of hypothesis I got, if that didn't happen with the shots, okay, then we're being invaded by demons on this planet, and it's like the body snatchers. Because it's people that I'm like, oh, I was really close to you. I really don't like you now at all. Like, I don't know how we was friends. It's some people I'm like, how was I friends with that person for like 20 years? Hey, what? Like, that don't even make sense. So maybe it's me, but I don't even want to give myself credit for that. So I'm thinking demons came. But there's a lot of people that I like spent a ton of time with that I look at so differently now. I'm not regretting being in those spaces because experience is experience. I had great times with some people, but I really have people like, yeah, I'm glad I made my exit. It's the Black Show. I'm out. I should have if I get a chance to finish it up, I should have a dope episode on Seinfeld today. So I holla at y'all. It's Kenny Cams. I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.